Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna have to come up with a name for this channel. Right now it's just my name. I should come up with something cool. If you guys have any ideas, throw them in the comments below. So today I am going to see if I can fix my fuel sending, well, the fuel sending unit is fine, but where it's connected to actually tell me how much gas is in the tank, those connections are loose and they're swapped. So I just need to get those off and swap them over, but they're a little bit tricky. So that's what I'm going to work on today, and maybe a couple other things. I will take you guys along for the journey. Hang on. Alright, so you guys can see what I'm dealing with as we turn the car on. You can see the fuel gauge moves. Excuse me. Trying to get that shadow. So it goes all the way to full, which isn't really correct. The gas tank is probably pretty close to full, except with the wires connected incorrectly, it should be reading empty right now. So it's just wrong. So we're going to fix that so that hopefully I will get some reasonable value out of this gas gauge. And since I'm going to be dealing with power right near the raw gas, I'm going to disconnect the battery with my super slick battery cutoff switch. Did you see that? One twist and the battery's cut off. Safe to work on the gas. Link to that video in the description below. Alright, so this is the fuel sending unit here. And these are the two connections. You can see how, hopefully you can see, it's a little bit dark down here. Maybe that'll work. See how loose they are? They shouldn't be loose. And the yellow wire should be on this connection. The black wire should be on the top one. I totally screwed it up when I installed them, so I gotta get it off and reverse them. But I'm afraid when I take these off that this plastic cover here is just gonna get destroyed because it's all old and dry rotted. So not sure what I'm going to do with that, but we will make it work. Alright, so I went ahead and pulled these wires off, and these ripped apart a little bit as I took them off, which I kind of assumed they would. So yellow was supposed to go on the bottom one here, and the black on the top. I will get those connected and we'll see if the gas gauge works. Alright, so we ran into a few technical difficulties. The rubber on these just completely came off, so I decided to go ahead and order a new connectors from Z-Car Depot. I will link to that in the description below. And I think that might be just a follow-up video, because I'd like to go ahead and post this anyway. So I've just got these kind of loosely wired together with some electrical tape. It's not soldered or anything permanent. That way I can rip those off pretty easily and connect in the new wires when they come in. You can see how these just slide on. Let's see if I can demonstrate without. Now also this clip broke, so I went ahead and soldered it. But they just slide onto the connector and they hold on with tension. So hopefully these will remain through the little bit of driving I'm going to do before the new clips come in, and then we'll get those installed. Alright, so I went ahead and turned the power back on to the car. Let's take this out of gear. Let's see if the gas gauge does anything correct. Looks like it's coming up fairly slowly. Alright, well, it stopped at a quarter tank. I should have way more than a quarter tank. So that doesn't seem promising. Maybe we start the car? Let's give that a shot. Hang on. So that doesn't seem to have fixed the problem. I switched the wires, which should have reversed the polarity, and instead of it registering empty, it should register full, but it just sits at a quarter tank when the tank should be fairly full. Should have at least 3/4 of a tank in there. Could it be that the fuel sending unit is in upside down? That's not how I understand this to work. If I flip the wires, it should flip. More to come. Didn't we say yellow wire at the bottom? So I reversed them, and now it registers well over a full tank, which is fairly possible with the sending unit just not being really well calibrated. But you can see it registers full now. Let's go with that. We'll call that a success for now. And then when the wires that I ordered come in, we'll attach those, get a more permanent connection. And in the meantime, I guess we'll run this as it is and see what happens with the fuel gauge. Wish me luck. Okay, so switching the wires did switch the fuel gauge back. So again, we'll just keep it like it is for now, run the car, see if the gas gauge goes down the correct way, and then I'll know those wires are connected properly. Then when I get the replacement clips in, we'll get those and it'll have a nice secure connection, and we'll go from there. On to another subject. A few videos ago, one of you guys asked about this little panel with these switches that I have in the car. And they were wondering what it does, why it's there. Right now, these switches do absolutely nothing. They are just there to look cool, and eventually I will connect things. I'm not even sure what I'll run off of these, but I did want to install a USB power adapter into the car. I have the cigarette lighter. I have no idea if this actually, I think this works and heats up. So there's power going to it, but yeah, there's a little bit of warmth. But I'd rather just have charging port off to the side. So you see when I turn the car on, it powers up. Got the key in the on position. That powers on. I'll go ahead and take this panel off and show you what I did behind. Okay, also this panel is just a piece of 20 gauge steel that I got at, yeah, I don't know, Home Depot or one of those places. So what I've got is just my ground, and I went ahead and connected all the ground to all these, and then this just goes to ground in here. And then I tapped into this power cable, which I'm not entirely sure what it's supposed to go to. Either way, it's 12 volt power supply, and I don't expect to draw too many amps off of these. When I connect these in, I may or may not run off of this same power source. If I do, I'll just tap from this wire and come along, kind of like I did from here for all the grounds. Now these are all crimped in, and then we got soldered connection here to go split it off to the actual ground and then run the wire to here. So that is it. Just a simple 12-volt power source from under the dash. And I can charge my cell phone. And let's see, we'll turn this on. There you go. I went through about 10 or 12 of these. This is actually one that you would get for you know, like a boat or whatever. It's supposed to be water resistant. I think that's the one I got. Only because it was actually the cheapest one they had. They had a few of them that had a display on there to show you your amps or your voltage of your battery. But since my amp meter works, I didn't feel like I needed to see the actual voltage of my system as it sits. So again, these are just going to ground right now. These are power connectors. I think if you bring power into, I can't remember which one, I'll have to look it up, which one power is in and then out to whatever item you're switching. I'm assuming this is in and this is out to the device. So I may just tap off of this one and bring power into each of these. These are the kind of switches that they have lights on them, and they light up when it's switched up, and they are off when it's off. Again, I don't really have any application for these yet. Maybe some lighting. I don't know what. In the meantime, that's where they are for now. Just future expansion. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, hit me up in the comments below. Otherwise, thanks for tuning in, and I hope to see you guys next time. Have a good one.